Hello, Fernway here from Wider Path Games. Today's video is on character optimization for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition using the core rule set. You can find these builds on D&D Wiki as well. Today's focus is going to be specifically on the Spellsniper, which is an amazing class for maximizing spell range and allowing you to play a really fun, unique, and powerful spellcaster. I fell in love with this character build. I had so much fun playing it in the games, so let's dig right into it. Imagine sitting atop the spine of the world and spotting an enemy caravan coming in. Now imagine being able to start blasting them with Eldritch Blast from 1,200 feet away. And what general wouldn't want a spell sniper on their castle walls? What ship captain would pass at an opportunity to have the likes of this build crushing opposing vessels in the crow's nest from insane distances? If you want to rain down destruction on your foes from incredible distances, then this is the build for you. This is currently the longest ranged attack in D&D 5e, and you'll never have to worry about asking if something is in range ever again. So let's move into how to build the Spellsniper. We're going to start with races and ability scores. Your top pick for race here is going to be the human variant. That's probably no surprise to anybody who's been playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Human variant is so strong because you're allowed to take a feat at the first level, and that'll definitely make this build a lot easier to pull off. I do understand a lot of people don't like playing humans. You're in Dungeons & Dragons. You want to be in a fantasy world. Any race with a boost of charisma is going to be viable for optimization here. Half-elf is considered the strongest charisma race. You get a +2 to charisma and a +1 to 2 separate non-charisma stats. You'll get 2 skill proficiencies, you'll have dark vision, and you also can check with your DM. If they allow the half-elf variant, you can also take keen senses, which allows an advantage on perception checks, which will be really useful with this build because you're going to be attacking at such range. You're going to want to have a good perception. You're also going to want to have a charisma of 16 or higher after all your racial bonuses are applied. And to understand why, let's move on into what classes we're going to choose. For classes, we're going to do levels 1 through 3 in Warlock. The 2 most important things from this level dip are Eldritch Blast and Invocations. So the Eldritch Blast cantrip. This is crucial due to its interactions with Invocations, and also its flexibility makes it a really great choice. With that, you're going to want Eldritch Spear. This increases your Eldritch Blast range up to 300 feet, and when you combine that with the Spellsniper feat, we're already going to be at 600 feet of range, which is insane. Then you're going to want to go Agonizing Blast. You want to be able to add your Charisma modifier to your Eldritch Blast, since it's the focus of the entire build. And finally, Pact of the Chain. One of the issues with the build is sometimes you can't see 1,200 feet, and that's your range, either because it's dark or heavy fog or having something else blocking your vision. So having a familiar lets you see through its eyes and use it to spot targets for you. Especially nice since you ignore everything except full cover once we're done with this build. Pact of the Chain allows you to have the Find Familiar spell essentially, so it's really useful here. Levels 4 through 20 are going to be in Sorcerer. The Warlock Sorcerer multi-class is extremely powerful already, and now we're just going to add a mind-blowing range to it. The levels in Sorcerer allow the use of Metamagic, and you're going to take Metamagic Distant Spell, which doubles your range. So what this looks like altogether is as follows. 300 feet of range on Eldritch Blast because of Eldritch Spear, times 2 because of Spellsniper feat, and times 2 because of Distant Spell Metamagic. That equals 1,200 feet of range. And all of this is possible by level 6, which is insane. Not only that, but you also have the full repertoire of a Sorcerer Warlock multiclass, which is already so good. So now let's get into the subclasses of Sorcerer and the subclasses of Warlock. So you're going to be choosing a subclass for your Warlock levels and also a subclass for your Sorcerer levels. I would really encourage you, choose the subclass that fits your playstyle the most, because all of these are viable. For Warlock subclasses, Hexblade. This takes the number 1 slot due to the ability to critical strike with Eldritch Blast. However, it's not the universal best because you must be within 30 feet to apply the curse that allows you that increased chance to critical strike. And the whole idea of the build is to be as far away as possible while you're raining down damage. But it's still a really good thing to have because sometimes you'll be in dungeons. Another subclass, the Fiend for the Warlock. The Fiend lets you choose from the expanded list of spells below. I'll read some of them. First level, you have Burning Hands Command. You have Blindness and Deafness or Scorching Ray at the second level. Third level, Fireball and Stinking Cloud. Fourth level, Fire Shield, Wall of Fire. And fifth level, Flame Strike and Hollow. Another subclass for the Warlock would be the Archfey. Fairy Fire and Sleep are both really nice spells, and they add a lot of power to your spell list. Let's look at Sorcerer subclasses. There's Divine Soul. You've already got the range to pelt from far away. You're never going to be worried about doing damage. So this allows a big boost to utility and even healing if you want it. Also, your wings let you get a top-down view, and that means it will be borderline impossible for anyone to get full cover. And with this build, you ignore anything besides full cover. Next subclass for Sorcerer would be Draconic Bloodline. Generally the strongest subclass. It's also got wings and a few survival tools that make you just that much harder to kill. And then there's Shadow Magic. The Hound of Ill Omen has a range of 120 feet, meaning you're still out of danger from most creatures. And these dogs can be useful at stopping enemies from closing that remaining gap. The fact that you summon them for a bonus action is very awesome, considering the only cap on how many you make is how many sorcery points you have. Finally, let's look at some variations. Every good build has people that are looking to customize and tinker with it. The following are some of those changes. Path of the Totem Warrior Barbarian level 6, Eagle Vision. A level 6 Eagle Totem gains the ability to see up to 1 mile as if the object were 100 feet away and does not have perception disadvantage in dim light. This would allow vision without having to rely on a familiar. Obviously, with this build, your range is so massive that the more you can see, the better. If you can spot targets early, you can hit them. Another variation would be Sorcerer level 5, then Warlock 3, and then Sorcerer to level 20. This leveling arrangement is geared towards those that either don't use the human variant or want to get a higher charisma score early. Both are valid reasons. And this array lets you get to the important milestone of unlocking 3rd level spells as well. And finally, the 5th level variation. Let's say you don't have time to do that extra Warlock level. You're playing a 5th level one-shot and you want to be able to use this build. Do the following. Human variant with Spellsniper. Level 1 to 2 Warlock. Take the Eldritch Spear and Agonizing Blast invocations. And level 3 to 5 Sorcerer. Take the Meta Magic Distance spell for this build. I have been trying this build recently in one of my games, and it has been so fun, especially when I'm in a situation where I can show off my max range. As always, please leave any feedback or ideas you have to make the build better in the comments, and please hit the like button. I truly love this game, and building unique characters is always going to be fun for me. This is Fernway from Wider Path Games. I'll see you next time.